You're making a lot of noise over there.
Shh.
She's Skittle hoarding. I want you all to know.
I don't know what you're talking about. Teresa, we're not late. We're just very busy
Eating
Skittles. Look at this. My tongue is green because I've been eating green Skittles.
You're gross.
Because you're gross. You're gross. What is up, everybody? What's happening? It's Wednesday, so it's Boss Up and List Day. Yeah, we are eating some Skittles with long lost lime because they're delicious. I was rationing them. However, Red Robin Reseller actually sent us another a little care package, and there was another bag. So I still have my second bag from Sunny that's stashed away, hidden away from you.
I'll find it.
But since I got this bag from Robin, then I know that I can share with you a little bit. A little bit. I have to ration it out with her though, because seriously, it'll be gone.
It's true.
I'm kind
of a sugar addict.
Yeah, kind of. So anyway,
I'm a fat kid. I like sugar.
But yeah, Robin sent us an awesome package that had like a couple of T-shirts and some
taco holders,
and fun stuff like that. It was awesome. Yeah, Connecticut girl, she just dyed her hair again today.
This is my normal color. This is what it looks like when I first do it. It just fades.
Yeah. There's a different one that there's a couple of different ones you use because there's another one that's it comes out like a different color.
This is the color combination I use 99% of the time.
Yeah, 99% of the time. So I'm not wrong.
I've used another one twice.
Do you remember earlier today when you had pink dye all over your face and you said you weren't going to do the show? Somehow she got pink dye all over her face.
Somehow?
Well, I don't know.
I did. I got like a big smear on my face.
Smear.
I said, if this does not come off, you're doing the show by yourself.
I think it would have been awesome if you did the show anyway, but that's just me.
Sherry had a funny taco holder. She sent you hands.
Anyway, rags, they don't sell. Here's the thing, Sandy. They don't sell the lost lime ones anywhere. So these only came out, I think I don't even remember what year it was that they stopped doing lime for the green, but they changed it to green apple. And then like maybe a few years ago, they came out with this. See, it says limited edition, long lost lime. I hate green apple flavor. So Skittles that you can buy in Vegas are gross. These are the magical Skittles. And the way to my heart is through lime green Skittles.
The way to her heart is through food.
Well, lime green Skittles.
So yeah, these cool little taco holders that that Robin sent to us. They're kind of cool. And
oh, there she is.
There she is. And she sent, I believe this part was for me, she sent a signed photo from the acoustic duo that has split off from the band Shinedown. Because I'm a rocker chick, and I really love Shinedown.
True.
Funny story. Well, I don't know, funny. Incidental story. Shinedown did my very first fundraiser concert for my charity back east, and nobody knew who they were yet. I have all kinds of pictures and stuff. They were super cocky. They were super drugged out. It was a long time ago. It was in 2005. But they had just released Simple Man like the week before, and it was before they went into the stratosphere and became really big. They played a small concert. They opened up for Tesla for my charity concert, and they were pretty nice by the end of the night. They were very humble, but they started off super cocky, wasted kids, but they were nice. Yeah. Anyway, guys, it's Wednesday, so it's Boss Up and List Live, which is our show we do on Wednesdays. We do a live virtual listing party in the boss group. So every Wednesday morning I get up, I do a post where everybody can check in and say what their goals are for the day, what they're planning on trying to get done. And then we have this live show. And this is like our show that's more business oriented. I mean, I guess Sunday is too, but that's just specifically sales and haul stuff. And then Friday is just kind of fun.
And then today's like our more business oriented one. And so we thought today we would do basically like a business Q&A. I know we do the AMAs on Friday, but this one is specifically business. So any questions that you have regarding reselling, whether it's eBay or Etsy, we don't know the other platforms really, but anything around reselling.
Could be shipping, could be international shipping, could be anything like that, even though we do answer a lot of shipping questions, but there seem to be a lot out there. It's a complicated topic.
Yep. And so any questions you have, just let us know in the chat and we will start answering those. Also, it looks like we are not the only ones to have a genius idea of a Q&A today, because I know over in eBay for Business today at 12:30, Audrey and Griff are going to be talking about inventory.
And they're doing it in Q&A.
And they're doing Q&A, and they want people to participate and ask any questions. They want to be able to answer people's questions around like sourcing inventory, managing inventory, you know, how you store it and organize it and all that good stuff. So I don't know if you're still struggling with that. You might want to head over there at 12:30. I know Teresa's going to be.
Teresa, how do I sell on eBay? Cut it out, lady.
Teresa, come on, come on. Well, just start selling your stuff, huh? That's basically it.
Pretty much. Yes, Swift Seller shipping does go up on the 27th. Last Wednesday, we went over all of the shipping increases and how to calculate them and how to save a little bit of money using Pirate Ship and a couple of other options.
Was that week before last, right? Because last week we did taxes, sales tax.
I'm sorry, week before last we did it.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks ago on Wednesday. If you didn't see that show, I would definitely review that if you have questions about the shipping cost increase, because that's the whole show.
Man, it's, you know, it is, we're going to keep saying how important it is that, you know, you got to remember, you guys are business owners. So if you want to be successful, you really have to be on top of what your costs are. And a big part of that cost that you don't really have a whole lot of control over is shipping. But where you do have control is having a really strong understanding of what kinds of shipping you can use, what different services you use, what is the cheapest way for you to do it. I'm telling you, it's super, super important. Ooh, Regs. Sandy woke up to a new icon by her eBay name, Power Seller. Very exciting. Congratulations. Congratulations. Very, very cool. Yeah, Allison says, cannot say enough great stuff about Pirate Ship, for sure. Yes, Susie, you can definitely use priority boxes for Cubic. So the only thing that you're limited on as far as priority boxes go are flat rate. So when you use a flat rate box, you go by the flat rate amount. However, if you alter a flat rate box, then it's going to go straight weight, right? So I know you can't alter it and still have it be flat rate.
Correct.
But technically, once it's been altered, they go by weight. As far as Cubic goes, though, any regular priority boxes you can use for Cubic, because Cubic is a priority service. So you can definitely do that. And then you can also just use regular old boxes and poly bags and stuff like that. Not a big deal. Let's see.
Enrique had a question.
Okay. You want to get that?
How do you keep track of eBay bookkeeping, sales expenses, cost of goods, fees, etc.? If you have a template, would you be able to share it? Neither one of us use a template, so there's nothing to share there. But we both use Outright, which is GoDaddy. It's not called Outright anymore, right? What is it called?
Just it's GoDaddy Bookkeeping.
GoDaddy Bookkeeping. It populates all of your information over from eBay, and that populates your shipping and your eBay fees, your PayPal fees, all that kind of stuff. So I use that, and then I also use my PayPal 1099, and I use my PayPal account, and I use a combination of all of those things, along with keeping all of my receipts from all of my purchases and a mileage log. And I take all of that stuff and I collate it at the end of the year, and I send it on to my accountant, and he takes care of it from there. As far as holding on to your expenses, just save receipts for everything. Receipts, receipts, receipts. I use my PayPal debit card for almost every inventory purchase, so that's recorded right there almost automatically for me. And then that's pretty much it. I keep a handwritten note of what I spend at estate sales and garage sales and yard sales throughout the year. Anything that I pay cash for that I'm not going to see a receipt for, the way that I do that is I usually print out all of the addresses of the garage sales that I go to every week when I go weekly. And that gives me the mileage, but it also gives me the address of where I stopped, and it gives me something to write on, and I hand write what I spent at each address. So I have a written log, and that is accepted by the IRS.
So Christy Lindsay had my first return. Item came back fine. Tried to refund, but app and desktop don't work. Call eBay. They said it was a bug, and I either have to have the customer close the case.
What you can do is just go into the PayPal. Go into PayPal and look for the PayPal transaction.
Yeah, but there's an actual
refund
case
from there.
But there's an actual case that was open.
That will close the case automatically, I believe.
Will it? I would personally, I would call eBay again because
that's how I mean, that's how we always did refunds before there was a such thing as cases.
Right, but if there's a case open, and I would be concerned that it would end up, the eBay would have to close it, and then they would say it was that they had to step in and do something because you didn't refund it in time. I'm just saying, I think my advice would be call them back again, because I think that doesn't make any sense that eBay would be telling you that it's a bug and that you have to reach out to the buyer and have them. That makes zero sense. They should
not
be able
saying
to,
that they didn't say that. Just
no, but they should be then somebody else needs to help you because they don't know what they're doing, because they can override whatever, and you're just asking to refund the buyer. That makes no sense. You're saying you got the item, it's fine. You want to give the money back. I think you should go call eBay back again.
Well, and that's how you get your final value fees back. You don't get your final value fees back if you do it through PayPal directly.
Right. So I wanted to point out that Lorna says she's keeping a running tally of how much she saves on pirate ship this week. And so far she's at $32.48 on 4 packages. Lorna was one of the most resistant when it came to switching over to
You're welcome, Lorna.
So I am super excited, Lorna, that you have finally jumped completely on the pirate ship train and you're saving some money. I think that's super awesome. Now, okay, so Lori has a question about, so she's been using pirate ship for international, and she wants to know, when you buy insurance, does it cover your shipping costs in addition to the product? I'm not entirely sure as far as that goes, because when you buy insurance, which I do all the time on pirate ship, it asks you what the value of the item is, and it does not have you include the shipping cost.
It does not.
No.
Priority shipping, USPS shipping in general, insurance claims, and you haven't done a lot of them, so I'll answer this because I probably do 20 to 30 a year. Insurance claims for USPS do not cover the shipping cost, whether it's domestic or international.
Okay, well, this would be through a third party, so that's why some third parties will cover the shipping costs. And so I'm just going to say I'm not entirely sure.
FedEx does.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. However, I did open my very first claim on an international package that I insured through the pirate ship, through the
Ship Saver.
The other,
so they use, I think.
No, it's not Ship Saver. It's another one. It's
Ships or Insurance or something.
It's something else. But anyway, and so I have opened my first claim. So we'll see. It's supposed to take a couple weeks before I find out. So when I find out, then I'm going to have a much better idea of like how it actually works to run it, get a claim, how long it takes, what it actually covers. It might only cover the value of the item. So we'll see. Can you Frankenstein regular priority boxes? Technically, here's the reality. You can Frankenstein any priority box. It's just that if the priority box that you Frankenstein is a flat rate one, it's no longer going to be eligible for flat rate shipping. So any priority box, once you Frankenstein it, it's based on the weight, or if it qualifies for cubic and you're doing a cubic label and it's the right size, then obviously it'll be cubic. But yeah, you can take, like I use the shoe box and cut that down to whatever size I want it to be for doing cubic. But yeah, you can alter it. The only time you can't alter it is if you're trying to keep it make it stay a flat rate. Like when somebody takes a medium flat rate box and they kind of fold it so it goes up an extra inch because they can't quite fit the item they want to put in there. And sellers do this all the time, and they try to print a label for a medium flat rate, and then they find out later that they have to pay extra for the shipping. So yeah, let's see.
Scroll back up because you're going too far down.
Okay.
You missed a bunch.
What did I miss? Sorry, guys. You guys have so many good questions. Does PayPal send a 1099? They will if you exceed $20,000
or 200 sales, I believe it is. You should have a 1099. They went out this week.
They should have emailed you you should have gotten an email letting you know.
But you all just log into your PayPal account and look for reports, and you should have tax information, and then you can click on the year.
Yeah, if you pass the threshold, then they will. Otherwise, you are responsible for figuring that out if you did less than 20,000. Because I'm just going to preemptively answer this question.
Yes,
you still have to claim it, whether you made $1,000 or $15,000 or $50,000 on PayPal.
Sandra, Wicked 13, how do you store your receipts? Me, I use an accordion file folder, and I physically store them categorized by the month. And then I break them down further into categories when I actually do my taxes. But to start, I keep the accordion folders. And I actually, Katie can attest to this, I have accordion folders for my taxes for the past like 15 years in closets. I know you don't need it anymore, but I do. After you pass a number of years, you don't need to store that information, but I do. I probably have mine for like the past 10, 12 years at least.
So Connecticut Girl says, I've been selling on eBay for a year and just opened an Etsy shop. Would you say the Etsy platform is seller friendly? I think overall it is seller friendly. I mean, I think eBay is seller friendly, but I do believe eBay is a lot more complicated. But I think with that complication comes, once you kind of master everything on eBay, it gives you a big edge over other sellers. So personally, like, I think it just depends on how you look at it. Etsy is definitely more hands-off. They like their sellers to work things out with their buyers between them. Like there's no opening up a return or anything like that, or opening up cases for the most part. I mean, they can, but it happens very, very rarely. But as far as like returns go, all that kind of stuff, it's like they want you to figure it out with your buyer.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the way it works and the way you navigate it, there's little differences, but I think it's pretty simple.
I don't think it's very difficult to navigate. Setting up your shipping policies is very similar to setting up your shipping policies on eBay. It doesn't do it for you, so that's something you have to figure out too. But it's not that difficult.
I've never had to call Etsy, so I have zero experience with what their customer service is like.
No idea.
No idea as far as that goes. But yeah, it's been smooth sailing for me. So
Martha has a question. I have a basic store, 200 free listings. If I go over 200 listings, then do I pay the basic rate for listings until I get under 200 again? That's not quite how it works. Basically, you have your free listings for up to 200 within a 30-day period. So what doesn't really matter how many listings you do have. Say if you have 200 listings and you sell 50, that doesn't mean you get 50 free more. Within a 30-day period. It means that you have 200 free listings, whether it's a relist, whether it is a new listing, or whether it is an existing listing. So 200 period, and then you're going to pay everything. You're going to pay whatever the rate is on a basic store. I think it's 25 cents a listing for anything over the 200 within that 30-day period.
I see Rachel in the chats. She says, just saying hi. Sold stuff this week. Woo woo. Rachel's our friend in Rhode Island who is moving here. Man, really, really, really soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know, I'm so excited.
So she originally was on the how many year plan?
She was on the 5-year plan when this first started.
Yeah, the 5-year plan.
At least. I think it was like 5.5 years when we first started the countdown, and now we're on like 6 months.
Not even 6 months, is it?
Well,
I guess
June
so.
Or July, they're going to come.
Mm-hmm. True story. So maybe like 5 months. Anyway, and she's doing some selling. She did selling like back in the day, and her mom was a big eBay seller, right?
She used to sell a lot of vintage jewelry and vintage stuff, and create vintage jewelry pieces. She was a big eBayer.
Yeah,
and active on the old school eBay message boards and things like that.
And now Rachel's jumping back into it after a number of years of being out. So everything is different. And I'm sure some of you other guys out there have dealt with this before, where you used to sell and you came back and you're like, what is happening? Anyway, we got lots of questions. If we don't answer your question, feel free to ask again, because seriously, it's going pretty fast. And let's see. You know what? I have Emily, as far as GoDaddy integrating with Etsy or just eBay, I have it integrated right now with like my PayPal. I don't have anything with Etsy integrated with it. Honestly, like that's something I'm going to be working on over this next month or so, is getting all that. Don't you look at me like that. Getting all that dialed in. So
I'm definitely not the best at keeping records ongoing, but I am extremely detailed because I do keep everything. It just takes me a month or two to get my stuff together when I actually send my taxes to my accountant. It would be much easier if I did it weekly or daily or monthly, like a lot of people do. I don't reconcile as frequently as I should, but I do keep very extensive records and receipts, which is why I have such an excellent accountant, because I kind of just send everything to him. I handwrite a lot. I hate spreadsheets. I hate Excel. I don't even understand how to use it. I don't use QuickBooks. I know I'm horrible. That makes
Horrible.
Teresa cringe. But I do a lot of things. I'm old school. I do a lot of things just handwritten and keep track of my receipts that way. I know that that's not the best way, so I probably shouldn't be telling people to do that. But that's what works for me.
Mhm.
You have to find whatever method works for you. I've been doing that this way for 15 years. I know there are easier ways, but I am not a math person. So for me, getting in and working on spreadsheets and collating columns and things like that, it does not going to work for me. I'm never going to do it. And I can tell you that now. I don't want to learn how to do it. I have no interest in it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's keeping old school notebooks and accordion file folders, and that's how I do it.
Yep. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, people were saying how everything's easy compared to eBay.
Mm-hmm. And CPAs do not get my receipts. I categorize everything. He doesn't get my receipts. I keep my receipts in case, God forbid, there's ever an audit. I have actual physical proof to back up my numbers. I give him the numbers. I do a lot of the work for him. He plugs it into the right categories and writes off what can. Exactly. Teresa, I don't want to do math. Mathing sucks.
But yeah, I don't know. I think there's something to be said going back to the whole like platforms, which ones are easier. Some people are saying like Poshmark's super, super easy. I don't know. It's like, how easy do you want a platform to be? You want it so easy that anybody can go in and flood the whole marketplace with tons and tons and tons of stuff and tons of stuff that's terrible, or I don't know. It's like, I think there's something to be said for a marketplace that does take a certain amount of skill and savvy to be able to navigate it and do it right. And, you know, when you have all these different factors that you need to be dialed in on in order to have the very best listings that have the very best placement and search, I'm telling you, if you master those, it puts you in a much better position than other sellers on the platform. So personally, I kind of like that, you know.
Let's see. And there's a question back there that's Enrique asked again about, scroll back just a bit.
Okay.
Where'd he go? Oh, do you average your cost of goods or track each individual item cost? See, I handle it as I paid $1,000 for inventory and then I sold X number of dollars. Well, say I sold $1,000 and I paid $700 for inventory. My net profit would be $300, and then I subtract all the rest of my expenses from that. That's how I handle my bookkeeping. Again, you're going to want to talk to your CPA and figure out how you want to get things started, because the way that you start is the way that you should consistently handle your bookkeeping throughout, you know, several years. I don't depreciate cost of goods. There's a lot of different ways that you can handle inventory, and there's a lot of different ways that you can handle accounting based on this type of work. So honestly, we're not accountants. I can tell you what I do, but that may not be the best way for you or your business.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Teresa, Posh has about 1 million sellers. The thing is, like, if you're picking platforms to sell on based on how easy they are you taking other things into consideration, like the audience? You know, right now it's like eBay and Amazon are really still the biggest sellers online as far as like how many buyers they actually reach. And so, you know, a platform can be super, super easy to use, but if you're not getting the same numbers,
you're not getting as many views.
Yeah.
And it depends. I mean, Posh is definitely a great growing platform and works well for certain types of people and certain types of clothing sellers. If you're selling new, current, fashionable mall brand clothing, that's probably a really good resource for you, because that's where the kids are shopping, and that's the type of products. Those are the type of products that you're selling. So if that's your main market, then that's a good platform for you to be on.
Jen Lee, both of our emails, I added your email today, by the way.
It's only taken a year.
So if you look at the description in this video, Vicki's email is actually there. Both of our emails are there, but hers is lvpinkpanther@cox.net. So yeah, Jen's the one. She needed to send you her address. Let's see. So Heather wants to know, so when you very first get an item from the thrift store, how or where do you write that down at? I mean, you don't write it down individual items.
I don't write everything down individually. I don't do that.
It's basically like for the whole year, you have how much you spent
I have all of my
inventory.
receipts from everything that I spent in January, all my receipts from everything I spent in February, and on and on and on. And I write down the entire year what I spent on inventory. That's how I handle it. It's one number, cost of goods.
Oh, Susie had this. So can I do a combined order and pirate ship? You know what? I
haven't figured out how to do that yet.
I don't know how to do it, but sometimes it does it automatically. And I don't know if that's based on on eBay having it already put together. So I had somebody buy like 3 t-shirts from me like a week or 2 ago. And when I went to ship it on Pirate Ship, they already were grouped. So I'm not sure. I've yet to have an opportunity to try to do it manually. I don't know if there is a way to do it manually. I'm not entirely sure, but it does happen sometimes on its own. But even if you, I mean,
yeah, Emily says do a chat with Pirate Ship. They have great customer service. That's true. They're
really, really fast.
I honestly have very few combined orders, and the last one that I had was not a Pirate Ship one. So
yeah. Yeah, but on Alexis, on eBay, you should be able to combine them on your order screen. And then you only have to put one tracking number.
If they're purchased on separate days, sometimes you can't. It's a mess.
No, I agree with that. But
oh, Susie did a chat with Pirate Ship. I did not know. Yeah, sorry. We're sucky. We don't have any more help.
I think it just happens automatically sometimes, but you should be able to, buy the label through one of the items, and then you're gonna have to. I don't know, Alexis, I've used the same tracking number on a couple of different things before, and they let me do it. So I don't know.
Red Neckerson has a good tax advice right there. Always spend more than you make. There you go.
And he should know, and that's why he did a $1.37 super chat. Yay! Somebody said something about my hand. Oh, I think it was Sherry. Yeah, it's getting better. It still looks a little brainy, a little purpley brainy.
She made it bleed yesterday.
I did make. She was yelling at me because she's like, "Why is your hand bleeding?" Because it was like bleeding through, and I got in trouble. You guys.
And Kara, at estate sales and yard sales with no receipt, do you agree with averaging buy price for each item? I don't average buy prices personally. That's not how I do my accounting. But basically what I do is I just write down, say I've got 6 addresses that I went to, and I said I print out the addresses when I go to estate sales or what have you. And the total mileage I write at the top, and I add that to my mileage information. And then I put down, okay, this one I spent $57. This one I spent $13. This one I spent $42. And that's just, again, that's just a cost of goods. And that's how I keep those printouts with my other receipts from through the year, because the IRS does accept those as valid receipts. It's the same thing as a mileage bookkeeping log. That's a purchasing log.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can't. I don't know. You guys are talking about a whole bunch of things about using same tracking numbers, 2 different user. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to use on 2 different user IDs, but. All right, guys, keep the questions coming. If you asked a question earlier and we did not answer it, make sure you put it in again, because you guys have been moving kind of fast. You guys are killing it with the questions today. You're like tippity tappity tippity tappity. So yeah, just re-ask any questions if we have not addressed them yet.
Oh, so Liz said she had a guest purchase 2 things, 2 different IDs, couldn't use the same.
Yeah, I've never had that happen before. So luckily that's not a common occurrence, but yeah, that would be a pain.
That seems like an odd occurrence. Why would someone do that? That's just weird.
Well, because if they came in, if they just paid as a guest, and then they came back again, and yeah, ridiculous.
It seems complicated.
It does seem complicated, but that's okay. Anyway, let's see. I'm gonna try to scroll back, see if I can pick up some other questions, guys. Red Robin and Reseller says, anyone in South Florida, I need an accountant. So if anybody knows anybody.
Kara Cooper is in Florida, I believe, but I don't know if she's in South Florida. So.
Let's see. Oh, somebody said you can see on Posh, you can see sellers in your town. Well, here's one of the things that I do sometimes on eBay. I like to go and I'll do like a search of like a super, super broad search, like men's t-shirts or something like that. And then you can actually, on eBay, you can filter down the results by how far away they are from you geographically. So sometimes I'll bring it down. You can be like within 5 miles of you or within 15 miles of you. And then you can start to see like who some of the other resellers are. Because you'll see like, oh, like here's somebody selling a t-shirt in Henderson, and then you go look at their store and look at all their stuff. So, you can kind of do that on eBay and be a little stalkerish. It's fun.
And Teresa's right. You don't necessarily have to have an accountant that lives in your state. Mine is my accountant that I've had for 14 years, and he is in Rhode Island. So I'm just not willing to give him up. He's good. and he's very inexpensive. So I've just stated, he knows me, he knows my business, and I've just been, using him forever. So.
Alexa says, my garage is full, but I bought a whole lot more inventory. What do I do? Well, Alexa, I think you know what to do. But if I was taking it as a serious question and I was answering that to somebody who had a real problem with too much inventory and you're still buying some inventory, let me tell you, I would say, like I said to other people, list the most valuable stuff first. If you can get rid of some crap and like donate it and get it out of there, stuff that's just not going to sell very well, do it as soon as possible. If you know you're going to keep bringing other stuff in, man, you got to get stuff out of the way. You're never going to get to it. It's going to sit there. It's going to waste space. It's going to cost you more money in the long run. And you want to be listing the stuff that's most valuable. So just like you slowly chip it away, chip it away, chip it away. Take it in chunks that you
give it away, give it away, give it away,
give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Yeah, go through, grab all the stuff you can see real quick that like you think can sell for the most, pull it out of there, set that aside so that you can photograph it and list it. And then maybe you can do this every day. Pull out like 10 items that are like the most valuable and 10 items that are crap. And take that stuff and throw it away. Maybe smash it in the street. Maybe you can get some stress release out of it. Or go donate it. Do that every day. 10 items that are most valuable, you list them. 10 items that are crap, throw them away. Get rid of them. Donate, whatever. How about that? How about that for an answer? How about that for an answer? See, I think it's genius.
Grandma Cheap. I'm in donating mode right now. That's coming tomorrow. Yep. See, I have been going through, I have a few more rooms to go through, but I went through last week and kind of went on a rampage right before Robin got here and cleared out, I swear, a third of my own closet.
Yeah. Peg says, I'm not liking these postage increases for first class living in Virginia and shipping. Well, I mean, you're probably not shipping to zone 9 much. I mean, zone 9 is like territories. So hopefully that won't be too bad. But yeah, zone 8, if you're shipping over to the West Coast. We have the same thing.
We are West Coast shipping East Coast a lot. I ship to Florida a lot. Florida and New York. Yeah. They kill me.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. I mean, maybe you want to increase your prices by 50 cents or just even $1. I don't think raising your prices on all of your first class stuff by $1 is really going to make a difference in like your sales. But it'll help you cover those costs. I don't know, just a thought.
Lori, the question is, if it is regular USPS regarding the insurance, yes, you are out that shipping. Alexis, USPS does not reimburse shipping cost. It depends if you have a third-party insurance or not. That does depend on the insurance. If it's FedEx, FedEx does cover their shipping charges.
Red Neckerson Resells wants everyone to know that he hates jewelry.
Okay, good to know.
So Right Brain Liz wants to know, have people been noticing a big difference in their local thrift stores based on the Marie Kondo Netflix special? I'll be honest, for us, we haven't been sourcing regularly.
I went yesterday, but there were 2 50% off sales days right before. I got a couple of good things, but not very much. I keep seeing, on Instagram, I see all these people finding these great brands everywhere. I don't find those brands on the regular anyway. So I'm not seeing them. So
yeah, for sure. I don't know. With this whole thing with the shipping increases, again, it's like the show that we did 2 weeks ago. Look at ways that you can offset that, whether it's really getting dialed in with how you're shipping stuff or focusing this year on higher value stuff being listed. So like we were just talking about with Alexis, if you have a bunch of product at home that you haven't listed yet, you really want to focus on the higher valued stuff. You want to bring up your average sale price. Basically, you want to widen those margins. The people who are going to hurt the most with the shipping increases are people who are working on really, really tight margins. Probably like a lot of people who are selling newer product, or people who are just focused on selling really low priced items, which, I mean, it's a model that people can use, but really when you do that, when you have really tight margins, it's all about churning out lots and lots of product. And if you're doing one-off stuff, you're thrifting, you're really just creating a lot of work for yourself. So if there's any way that you can increase your average sale price, sourcing better, finding better items, higher value items, not getting bogged down in all the crap that you've been storing in your garage or your warehouse for the last 5 years that you're never going to get to, that's worth $10. I mean,
get rid of it. Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder, guys.
Jen asked, did we purchase the diffuser with the ring light? We did not. So
No.
I don't know if it's necessary. People are saying that it works better with it. I didn't. I just got the stripped down version of the 18-inch ring light.
Yeah, I'm probably going to try and order that because I would like to see what kind of difference it makes. So yeah,
Yeah,
no
sorry,
idea.
I was cheap.
Yeah.
I bought the $80 ring
Get
light
cheap,
instead of the
get cheap.
$100 ring light. Cheryl spoke to the manager of a small charity thrift you go to in Portland. She said they've been overwhelmed by donations.
I bet.
Good, work out a deal. Take a few off their hands before they have a chance to cherry pick.
Yeah,
that's what I'd be
for
doing.
sure. Let's see. Kara says, I find the more I learn about what to buy, I'm buying less at thrift stores, yard sales and estate sales. So you're buying more. Are you buying more at yard sales and estate sales? Is that what you're saying?
I buy a bunch at thrift stores still, but I am very selective about what I buy. Unless I'm getting something for like $1, then I'll get the $25 or $30 item. But I really do try to keep my average sale price above $40. So when it comes to clothing, I've been pretty selective lately.
Yeah, Alexis, I don't know. Was Laura in the chat earlier? Laura Frenzy? I don't remember if I saw her in the chat. She was. So I don't know if she's still here, but she went through a lot of that this last year, like really seriously, like upping her listing, but also getting rid of a lot of stuff and like letting some crap go that she was holding on to for a long time that she had planned to sell, and then just realized it wasn't for her or whatever.
She wasn't going to get to it. She didn't want to.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's just, I think you'll feel a lot better. There
is a town called Katy, Texas. Same spelling.
Indeed.
I have shipped there a few times.
Indeed.
Somebody I know used to live there.
See, Kara, yeah, Kara, I'm not buying all the crap I used to buy when I started selling. And that's kind of one of the whole things where we tell people, like, don't get sucked into hoarding and having death piles, because what ends up happening is that you have all this stuff that you've been buying over a long period of time and you're not listing fast enough to keep up with it. So just growing. And the thing is that even when you've been doing this for a long time, you learn as you go, and what you buy changes, and also the market changes. And so what happens is 6 months, a year later, let's say you finally get to something, you're going to be like, why would I ever buy this? Or you'll say, oh, I really missed the mark on this because a year ago it was selling for twice as much. Now it's pretty much worthless.
Bearded Picker. He said he did a video on how to use the box resizer. I'm going to go find that video. Sorry, I missed it.
He put it in a video for you. I haven't even watched it yet.
I'm such an ungrateful
outrageous.
Bitch. I'm so sorry. I'm such an ungrateful bitch. I didn't know you did that. I'm going to go watch it. I will watch it this afternoon. Thank you for letting me know it's there.
Yeah.
I just don't get a chance to watch a lot of other YouTubers very often because we do 3 shows a week. I'm sure he feels the same way. I try to pop in and catch some here and there. I popped into and I was able to catch most of Ryan and Ali's show Monday night. It's like here and there.
Do you know how I deal with the whole box resizing thing?
You don't ship
I
anything.
ship everything in bags.
She doesn't ship anything that goes in
That's
a box.
pretty close. And you know what? As I started, when I ship big jackets, I just ship them in larger bags. So that's how I do it. So Glow is having a garage sale this weekend. Says, I hate them, but it's time to let go of mistakes and source smarter. So my question to you, Glow, when the day is over, your garage sale's over, what are you doing with the stuff that doesn't sell? Are you going to put it back in your garage, or are you going to get rid of it? You're going to give it away, put it on the curb, throw it in the garbage, take it to Goodwill. I mean, maybe you've already decided to do this, and I'm just yelling at you because I'm a jerk. But I'm telling you, the stuff that you have at a garage sale, if you don't sell it, you decided to put it in the garage sale for a reason, but if you don't sell it, I think you should make a promise to yourself that you will not put it back in your house. It's either going to go in the garbage, or it's going to go to Goodwill, or wherever it is that you go to donate. So, and
Linda said, I did just see that on Instagram this morning. So Scott, Bearded Picker hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube last night. So congratulations. That's awesome. Scott, if you want to post a link to your YouTube channel in our Boss Facebook group, I don't know if he's able to post it in the chat. I think you have to be an admin to post it in the chat. But I don't have time to screenshot it. Feel free to go into the Boss Facebook group. If you're not in there, post a link, and maybe post a link to your box resizer video, because I know we haven't done anything like that. So I bet there are a lot of people that could get some information out of it.
Kara Cooper just said, I'm a bag lady. That is true. I am a bag lady. Definitely true. It's a magical thing. Like, I used to ship some stuff in boxes back before I was born again and learned about cubic priority. I would actually ship larger jackets in medium flat rate boxes. And now I look back at my old stupid self and I say, why were you such an idiot?
That was my ear. Ow. You hurt my ears too, even.
You're a crybaby.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was shipping jackets in a medium flat rate box, like big jackets that wouldn't be able to fit in a padded flat rate and were too heavy to ship. Let's say in New York, I would put them in a padded flat rate, which right now, up until a few days from now, is like $12.45. Same exact thing can go cubic for like $8.50. $8.50. That's $4.
Somebody
every
is
time.
Right Brain Liz. This is Feral Cat. Feral Cat. That's the picture. Pharrell, the feral cat.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, Alexis just shared. Alexis has a wrench, so she was able to share the YouTube channel. Cool. Thanks, Alexis. Very kind of you.
I didn't want to like pull off screen to try and pull it up and find it. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Well, and Kelly, the Ecom Mom Ward, got up to 50 subscribers this week. So I think that's pretty sweet.
That's hey, we started real slow too. I think we're actually just about to hit 6,000. So we have a long way to go to get to Scott's stratosphere.
Oh man,
it's been slow going. But we've been almost a year.
Wins the race, man.
We've been almost a year, and since we started doing shows consistently, I think we're at about 10 months in.
Yep.
To consistent several time a week shows.
And that really, the
about
consistency
6,000.
is what's important, I think.
6,000 subscribers, almost.
Yeah, I think, if you're consistent and you have, as much as possible, have shows on the same days of the week at the same time, it makes it a lot easier for people to tune in. It also makes it, gives them something to look forward to. I know for me, I follow a lot of podcasts. I'm actually not a big YouTube watcher, but I listen to a lot of podcasts. And it's like, I've had shows that I subscribe to and they're very sporadic in when they put their stuff out. And what happens is I forget to go check and see what they have out.
Whereas November, he was saying in November he had 6,000 to 50,000 in 2 months. I don't even know how that's. My goodness.
That's crazy.
That's amazing. Must have had some really great content that went viral.
Did you do what Wade did and like go find some amazing
vintage storage
locker? Apparently that's what we need to do.
Vintage storage lockers apparently make you go viral.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of people who are like really, really into it. Because here's the thing about the storage locker stuff is I think there are people who are into that stuff that aren't even resellers necessarily. So I think it appeals to like a really wide audience of people. Because like people who watch the storage locker wars or whatever that show's called, they're not all resellers. They're just people who like to see treasures being
it was
pulled
the
out.
Monopoly video. Yeah, he went and did huge retail arbitrage on that Monopoly for millennials.
So crazy.
Thing. He must have bought hundreds of them, I think it was, and had them up and half of them sold within 48 hours. There you go. Monopoly millennials. Good for you. That's awesome. I did watch that one. That's one of the few of yours that I've actually seen. Because that was a really cool video. So
nice. Yeah, it's hard to say. And the retail arbitrage stuff is like I would say I think our #1 most viewed video on the whole channel is the one that we did with Teresa where we did retail arbitrage. Now, so I mean,
and it wasn't even like fantastic content.
No, but but it was showing us going out to like Ross and Marshalls and stuff like that and buying shoes and stuff. And the thing is that retail arbitrage, I think those with keywords like that and that kind of stuff, there are a lot of people that like want to get into it and want to watch it. Unfortunately, that's just not we don't do enough of it. Like I would say I am a retail arbitrage dabbler because I do it here and there, but I don't even
dabble.
It's like I do it on such a small scale that it's not worth doing videos around. It's like, yeah, I ordered a bunch of Guess t-shirts over Black Friday, but it's like my version of retail arbitrage is I ordered 14 t-shirts, you guys. What? 14 t-shirts? I got rich so fast, it was crazy.
You're so funny.
Anyway,
oh my God, 1.5 million views. That's amazing.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Teresa, I'm never going to make you tacos. I will buy you tacos, but I'm never going to make you tacos after having your mom's tacos.
Did she say make? She didn't say make. She said she's waiting for
makes
tacos.
Great tacos.
She says waiting for tacos. But yeah, anyway, so people would have lots of questions about like on that retail arbitrage video, and I'm like, again, and then we get all these questions of people wanting help, like getting started on Amazon. And I'm like, I don't really do Amazon enough to really give anybody any tips. I'm the wrong person for that. So yeah,
I know. We would both clearly be making a lot more money if we decided to start doing a lot more, FBA with Amazon. But the reality is that neither one of us are interested.
It's not my thing.
And we don't. We do what we do, and we are pretty sure we're going to stay around the same size we are now because that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't have the skills and the knowledge to go further. Although we don't when it comes to Amazon, but we can learn it.
Well, I've said it before, like when I started with eBay 3 years ago, I started Amazon FBA. Actually, I was selling on Amazon way before I sold on eBay. When I went to grad school in 2007, I actually sold like over 1,000 DVDs on Amazon to help fund my move to New York for grad school, because I had like a 3,000 title collection of movies. So I was like flipping movies on Amazon for years.
I've been done movies and DVDs. The thing is that I'm ungated on Amazon in almost every single category because I've been grandfathered in for so long. I probably should be selling on Amazon, but I just don't.
Well, and when I started 3 years ago with eBay, I was limited to 10 items a month. And so I jumped in, I was really impatient and I was like, I want to resell stuff. And so I jumped into FBA and I was out there doing retail arbitrage and buying stuff all over the place, sending in tons and tons of stuff. And let me tell you, I pretty quickly, like within the first month, I was over like $1,000. And that's, just the very first month. And so I was doing really well and I could see a path to being super successful, making a lot of money there. But at the same time, as I was growing with eBay, I had so much more fun with eBay, Yeah. And so for me, the end all be all, I mean, I went into school loan debt to get a degree in nonprofit management. So clearly my priorities are
not money.
But, and now I'm not even like working in that field.
And I worked in that field for 15 years as a volunteer. So even my money is clearly not money either.
So what our viewers are not going to get from us is a way to build like an empire through reselling. But we are going to work with people who want to be small resellers or who are just starting out, who want to just make a living doing this mostly more on their own. We're all about helping you do it right. And coming at it from the right attitude.
And here's the thing. I made a goal last year, and Teresa can attest because I think the post was in her boss group. My goal last year was to increase my sales by 15% and go. I mean, I've been around the $85,000 a year mark in gross sales on eBay for the past 3 years. Last year, I wanted to hit 6 figures. I hit $99,990.
Between I think you were like $75 short.
Between Amazon, Etsy, and eBay.
You guys, she was literally $75 short of hitting $100,000 gross this last year. And it basically is all my fault. So I told her I'm sorry.
It's because she decided to fall out of a car.
I'm sorry.
At the end of 4th quarter and ruin my life.
And I am sorry. Anyway, so Reseller Man says, what do y'all sell? This one over here sells anything that she can make money on. So it's clothing, hard goods, everything. I sell just men's clothing, new and used, mostly vintage, a lot of streetwear type stuff. So we sell somewhat different things a little bit. However, we both are under the same philosophy of higher average sale price and not as much volume. We would rather make our money through higher individual sale prices as opposed to churning out.
I try to keep my average sale price around $45 to $50, and realistically, of that 6 figures, it's probably 65 to 70% net.
Teresa, thanks for that. She says, take that as a life lesson. That best offer you decline could be the difference between a 5-figure and 6-figure business. Well, as a power couple. We blasted through 6 figures because
as a power couple, we did probably 200,000 because I think
but I didn't quite. I'm probably a few $1,000s. I think I very briefly added it up, and I think I was at about 96 or 97,000. So so we're really close to 200,000 between the two of us for last year. So next year we're gonna blast through that. So that's what I say. Yeah. Victoria Smith said I could have bought something from your store while I was living in the living it up in the hospital.
Seriously, she's so selfish. It's all about her.
I know. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's just when I see people who quote unquote have to be hustling all the time because they're selling, and especially here's the thing, low margins are okay if you can do it at a super high volume. So that means if you really want to be super successful, you need to do it through something like retail arbitrage or wholesale or private label, or have a bunch of people working for you. But if you were just an individual person and you're out thrifting and you're doing one-offs, you do not want to be doing super high volume, low margins, low price stuff, because you're going to find that you're going to burn yourself out. You're never going to be able to stay ahead of the game. You're going to struggle. And, you know, and you just, it's just not a good model if you are somebody who's working on your own, because you're going to have a hard time ever building from that.
I'm going to shut this down right now. We are not doing a cutesy couple name.
I like Vady.
No, just no.
What about Vikki?
Just stop. Yeah, see, Liz, I'm so mad. I missed it. Yeah, you missed it by 3,000. I missed it by under 100. Yeah, I say we round up.
But I will say, guys, last year I did like 86,000 gross. And I think you did like around the same, around 85,000 gross. So it's like, whatever we had, you know, and I was telling Vikki, I'm like, but that was even with this year having a really rough summer, having all the glitches that were happening on eBay that absolutely affected our sales, to still be able to do even better than last year and still come out like with a higher gross. I say we won for the year. So
yeah, we both put a ton of work into this year. So honestly, and again, that's with taking trips, that's taking reseller trips, that's taking, I take 2 weeks off a year where I'm not listing or selling anything. We spent a week in Rhode Island. We took lots of little mini couple 2-3 day vacations. We did a week in Michigan. I did a week in Washington when I was doing burn camp. So I have 2 weeks out of the year that I do nothing with eBay whatsoever. And I put my store on vacation. I don't source, I don't list, I don't ship, I don't do anything. And that's just to go and volunteer my time working in the community that I love. And I couldn't do that if I had a 9-to-5 job. My job pays for me to be able to pay to go volunteer.
Rayburn and Liz wants to know if we're still doing store reviews. We haven't done one in a while, but we're open to doing more.
Yeah.
But we also, you know, we can only do so much, and we don't do them every week. So we also encourage people, if you're in the Boss Facebook group, you can always do a post where you put your store link out there and let the people in the group give you feedback. And I'm telling you, we're super nice in there. Nobody's a jerk. If somebody is a super jerk, they can go away. But you can get some great feedback if you really want to have, if you really want to know how you can make your store better and how you can get better sales.
Heather, as far as taxes, that's really just going to depend on what your net is once you write everything off, and you are going to I'm going to write everything off. Let's put it this way. I have a very good accountant that writes off everything that he can think of within the legal boundaries. And I look like I should be on living in a cardboard box based on what I make net.
A very nice cardboard box.
All right. It's a nice cardboard box.
So Kara said, I think it was Kara, said that there's two
sellers in her.
They passed it already. Two sellers in her home. Oh yeah. Do you find yourselves in competition fun wars? Yeah, we've said this before. The only time I have fun being competitive with her is when it comes to sourcing. Like I'll totally try to like get the cool stuff first or whatever. Or she gets something that I would like. She came home yesterday, and she'd gone sourcing without me. And there was one item, one jacket where I was like, I wanted to steal it from her. But otherwise, when it comes to listing, when it comes to selling, you know, we
encourage each other. I would say that we're competitive where we encourage each other, because our goals are very similar as far as monetary goals, listing goals, that type of thing. So I think we encourage each other because we push each other.
Yeah. But like, I never feel like, oh, I'm winning if I get more sales than her. Because generally, if like one of us is having a bad day or a bad week, it's like, I'm not feeling good about that. Honestly, I would rather both of us be having good sales. And I know that sounds like, well, that's obvious, but I never feel competitive when it comes to sales.
Right. And we do keep our finances separate. So anybody that that, you know, we're not married. We do keep our finances separate, and we probably will after we get married, at least for a while.
But it is
We're
pretty
just used to it.
It is pretty crazy when you think about how close our sales are in general. Like, you know, definitely like my costs are usually a little, well, my cost of goods are usually higher, and your shipping costs are higher because you find stuff for much cheaper, but you do a lot of hard goods, which costs more to ship. So I find that we are crazy. Like I said, last year, I think I beat you by a couple $1,000s, but that's like literally, like, I think yours was like 84,000. Mine was like 86. And like this year, I think you technically beat me, but it's like you're 99, whatever thousand, and I'm like 97. So it's pretty nuts, like how close we really are.
Chris, I list, when I'm talking about listing items a week, I'm only talking about new listings. So I try to list 100 new items a week.
Yeah.
Relists, I don't count as lists.
Yeah, she definitely gets more. I mean, she's got way more listings than I do and gets more done. Part of that is because she's, because I don't have, you know, you get a little bit of help with pictures. I don't get any help with pictures.
I do have Dana, who works for me, really 4 hours a week taking photos. So she takes the photos of the majority of my clothing.
Yeah.
So.
And then she's been cross-posting for you on Etsy, and now is almost caught up.
I'm almost all caught up on Etsy.
Crazy.
So I have about 700 listings on Etsy, and she probably only has another 100 or so to get the rest of my vintage cross-posted.
Yeah, it is all about balance.
Doker asked, would you advise to start eBay first, then Amazon FBA?
I mean, they're totally different things.
They're completely different animals, and I've never done Amazon FBA, so I can't really speak to that. For me, it's all about eBay. Yeah,
Chris, as far as sourcing goes, so I think it was, so last week, because we had gone to, like a couple weeks ago, we'd gone to those estate sales for her. And then we went to a couple thrift stores, and then because Robin and Jimmy were in town, we went, we did a lot more sourcing. So she had like so much stuff, and this, I swear to God, this happens every time. She was like, oh, I have so much stuff. It's way too much. Now she's like, it's going to take me like 3 weeks to get through. Then she's like complaining. It's like she gets stressed out because she gets overwhelmed because she's a very,
when there's too much. I have a lot of anxiety.
And I'm like, you know, it's going to be like in a week, you're going to be saying that you need to source again. And she's like, no, seriously, I have like 3 weeks worth of stuff. And then like 2 days ago, she's like, well, I have pretty much already, she's like, I've already listed almost everything that we've gotten pictures of, and I only have these things left. I'm going to have to go sourcing again. And so she went sourcing.
I'm usually about a week.
It was like a
behind. Yeah. I have about a week's worth of listings to put up.
But she literally was saying she wasn't going to be through it for 3 weeks. And I'm like, not true. I know that's not true. Yeah. So every time we talk about Etsy, somebody says that they didn't realize that. Yeah, it changed. I mean, it's been a few years. I don't know exactly how long it's been. It's been at least a couple of years. But yeah, you can sell anything, vintage clothing. You can sell, so I sell all my t-shirts and, you know, sweatshirts and jackets and any of my men's clothing that's vintage. If it's 20 years old or older, if it's made in 1999 or before, you can list it on Etsy. I'm also cross-posting any of my, my movie soundtracks on vinyl that I get that actually came out 20 years ago or older. So yeah, there's a lot more stuff you can sell on Etsy. I think most people realize. So, and I do really well on there. So,
Kara, did I list everything from the unboxing yet? I have maybe a handful of things left to list from the unboxing that you sent. Katie hasn't gotten to hers yet.
I have not. And I actually gave more of the stuff from my box to Vikki like yesterday, the day before, because like I said, she's running out of stuff and I still have a bunch of stuff I need to photograph. So I'd rather get listed sooner than later.
And Andrew, as far as sourcing resources, I'm it. Savers, Goodwill, Salvation Army, garage sales, estate sales. Those are my resources.
Yeah. And well, and I've been trying, and we've done a couple of bulk buys recently. That's the other thing that we did that we don't normally do. But I would like to do more of that. And then the retail arbitrage, and I do online arbitrage too. Like if I hear like the whole guest t-shirt thing, it was because I saw a post in one of the groups I'm in Black Friday that they were up for sale, these t-shirts. So I'm like, I'm going to go buy some. So
you bought,
I think a lot of it,
a couple times now.
No, that was from the guest website.
Sorry.
But so I think like having different options open to you, because some people will say, well, in my area, I don't have higher price stuff that I can thrift. And that's where I would say, okay, so then start getting involved in different, like I'm involved in some streetwear Facebook groups, and I've bought like big lots from people and like wholesale lots. So there's other ways to thrift that are not just going to the thrift store in your neighborhood.
So Thrifty Christy, I do not necessarily have a death pile or a profit pile or whatever the heck you want to call it. Everything that I have that is not listed is currently in my office, and all but about 20 items have been photographed.
I don't think you can call it, like, I don't know. Let's define a death pile. To me, a death pile, let's say you bought something to list and it's been sitting for, let's say a month, let's say 30 days. If you have something that you bought 30 days ago and you still haven't listed it, that I will call a death pile. If you source a bunch of stuff over a week's period of time and then you list it all within another week, that's none of that stuff's a death pile.
So the technical answer is no, I don't have a death pile. But I will say I have about 30 items on the side of my house that I got for free from a friend of mine. Death pile. That is my death pile that I keep avoiding. That is money, and I won't go, and I haven't gone to photograph and list them. And it's a bunch of marine and boating things, a lot of propellers and anchors and water skiing stuff.
Now
and
that does
good
make
money
sense.
in it.
But you can at least rationalize that, you know, for the most part, we won't say that you need to worry about seasons. But when it comes to like big bulky items that are only going to be sold within the U.S., probably water skiing stuff is going to be.
Well, and I have to get moving on it because it's coming up shortly that it's going to be season again. So I do have to get to it. But that is what I would say is my death pile, because that's a few months old now and it's sitting on the side of my house. It's stuff that I haven't brought in because it can be outside because it's outdoor stuff. So I have to get to that. And there's a lot of money in that. I mean, there's a couple $1,000s in inventory out there. I probably shouldn't say that. But yeah, I got to get to it.
Get to it. Yeah, I actually have more stuff than I usually do. But even the stuff that I have, honestly, if I had 2 straight days where I could just photograph, I could get through all of it. After this, after the show is over, I'm actually gonna go and work on photographing again. But yeah, I do have more than I usually do.
And I will probably photograph my last 20 items when she's done with her stuff today. So that everything is photographed, and then I can just work on listing. And I should get everything listed by the end of this weekend, if not sooner. So
pretty much.
Head flipping mama, Kelly's in the house. What up? She's been doing tons of YouTube videos. I have to catch up. I have to watch a couple of them. She does these cute little videos. They're shorter and I like them.
Well, she's also been doing some working videos that last a lot longer, where it's her and a few other resellers, and I think they hang out and list and chat. And so for people who are into that kind of stuff,
oh, that's cool. I've never seen that.
I don't usually do that kind of stuff because there's no way that I can concentrate and work while having those videos. I can't really, anytime I do watch YouTube videos, I can't work while I'm doing it. So that's why I generally just don't. So just a girl needing to basically sell off everything from her entire store. Honestly, like, I don't know if you belong to any like local groups of resellers, but you might just want to, I don't know if you've posted in, I would say Facebook Marketplace is way more active than Craigslist is anymore. I used to, last time when I sold my car, it's like I listed on Craigslist and on Facebook Marketplace. And I found that like I got 2 responses total from Craigslist, and I was getting multiple responses every single day from Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, so you're just going to have to, be okay with selling it for a price that's somebody's going to take you up on right away, which means it's probably going to be for a lot less than you wanted to sell it for. But yeah. One Witch Lady, I wish my death piles were only a few months old. Mine is much older than that.
Oh, I didn't know Shamrock Pixie had a channel too. I'm gonna have to. I'm so bad. I'm sorry. I need to go and find some more YouTubers, and I should just be watching the stuff while I'm listing. I tend to watch TV, and I have like my Netflix going in the background, but I probably should be doing.
Well, I think wasn't Shamrock Pixies on? I think they were on your show too yes. I don't know when it was. Anyway, I see that stuff pop up, but I don't go watch so much just because I can't. I got to get work done.
Fatima, I list on my computer, as does Katie. I download my photos right now. When I take my photos on my phone, they upload to the Google Cloud, and then I just download them into a zip file, and then they're there on my computer. And when I use my actual camera, or when my assistant uses my camera, she will use my camera, not her phone or my phone. Then I just download them onto my computer. I just, you know, use my little, the little whatever USB cord.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, for you guys that have stuff that's over a year old, I would really recommend you going through and trying to pull out some of the stuff that you know is not going to sell for very much and just get rid of it. Because the thing is, unless you are going to go on a no sourcing sabbatical or something like that, it's like you're never gonna catch up. And so I think that the sooner you like kind of come to terms with that, and you're like, I'm never going to catch up. I still want to be able to source, because you know the thing is, you kind of need to be sourcing to a certain degree, just because you need to have current stuff. And I'm just saying. So it's like you need to cull that stuff. You need to like get some stuff and get rid of it. And if you have stuff that's over a year old, I think, you know, I haven't watched the whatever the condo, I don't know what it is, but I can say, I know that there's the whole thing where it's like, you're supposed to be like, does this make me happy?
Does it bring you joy?
Does this bring me joy?
I've never watched it either. Sorry.
And I will tell you that, like, you know, I say, like, I don't list pants. I don't like to do shorts or pants. There's certain items I just don't like to do. It's similar.
If there's stuff that you keep pushing,
the reason I stopped doing pants is because I would source and I'd get like a pair of jeans or whatever. And then when I would go to take pictures, I would grab the stuff I wanted to take pictures of, and then there's the stuff that I would always kind of set aside, because I wasn't looking forward to dealing with it. And so then I just realized, you know, it's a waste of my time to have this sitting here. I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm not going to, or I would like make myself list it, whatever. And I'm never going to source it again because I don't like to do it. And I don't want to dread working, because I like what I do and have fun doing what I do. So if there's something that's going to make me go, oh, I don't want to do this, and I don't need to be doing it, I have plenty of other things I can source, so I just don't do it. So I would say, if you have stuff that you've had around for a year, seriously, go in there every day when you're grabbing stuff that you're going to list, or when you're bringing in stuff that you source again because you're out of control. Go through and just get rid of a few things. Maybe get like a big box and set it aside, and every day grab a couple things and be like, would I get this now? Do I even want this? And throw it in the box, I'm
bad where I have stuff that I've had listed for 1.5 to 2 years that probably should sell and hasn't sold or whatever. And once I have something listed, it's out of sight, out of mind. I don't ever cull through my inventory and get rid of stuff that I should be doing, but I don't.
Yeah. But yeah, you just got to get that crap out of there, man. It's just going to cause you anxiety, and you'll feel better not having it around anymore. Anyway,
you woke up Angie. She said she slept through half the show.
So I just need to like do lots more yelling. No, apparently. I'm not judging, guys. Seriously, I'm really not. But I just want to help you guys be more successful sellers. And I just think that, you know, it's really important that you find a balance. And if you have too much stuff right now, then maybe come up with a game plan for how you can whittle that down. And I do think it's unrealistic a lot of times for people to say, like, I'm just not going to source for the next 6 months, because generally they fall back on that. One thing you can do is you can set it up as some sort of reward system. Like if I get X number of listings up this week and I get rid of X number of items that I don't want to ever sell, then at the end of the week, I get to go to Savers to source, and you know, but only spend a certain
X
amount,
number of dollars. Yep.
Because the key to the only way you're going to get that down, that inventory down, is if you're listing more than you're buying. You got to be listing more than you're buying. All right. So if you're listing 100 items in a week, can you buy 50 items in a week? Okay. But you got to always be listing more than you're buying, and then slowly that pile is going to go down. And if you want to make it go faster, throw it out. Get it out of there, Angie. Wake up.
I do list Christmas all year round, Cindy. I list everything all year round. Yes, there are certain seasons where things sell for more money or sell quicker, for sure. Holiday stuff is seasonal, but I do sell it all year round. I actually just listed about 15 Christmas things yesterday. Someone asked, Kara asked if we're going to do a garage sale. Probably not. It's too much work and not enough reward.
Not worth it.
I just get rid of stuff and redonate it.
We just donate to Savers, get our 20% off coupon, and then save that for later. So
yeah, I just can't. I've done garage sales in the past and I've done okay with them, but the reality is that it's just too much work involved, and it bores me to tears. And I make more money on a weekend just selling online than I do hoarding stuff to put into a garage sale.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes the fastest way to get rid of stuff is to just throw it away.
Seriously.
Or donate it.
I really do need to go through my my one death pile area. It's like I said, it's like 30 items, 35 items maybe. I have to get it done. I've actually just been waiting for the weather to be a little bit better because I need to photograph the things outside, because they're like dusty and big and heavy, and I'm just going to photograph them on the table outside. I'm not bringing them in to try and photograph them in my house. So weather's fine. It's just kind of cold.
So Emily says, I have a great thrift that works with foster families and I love donating to them. It makes me happy. See, if you have like a business or a thrift store that you really are like on board with whatever their cause is, then it's like you can feel extra special and extra good when you get rid of some of that stuff from your death pile that you don't need anymore. So
perfect.
Yeah.
I think we've gone a little bit over an hour now. I think we've asked a lot of, we answered quite a few questions, I hope.
Yeah.
Now people are just chatting about donating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you about ready to wrap this up? Do we have any more questions coming in?
I think we're good. But hey guys, like I said at the beginning of the show, Audrey and Griff over on the eBay for Business Facebook page, they're going to be doing a live show that starts in 20 minutes at 12:30. And they're going to be talking about inventory. So if you have any questions for them, they're doing it as a Q&A. So you should go over
at 12:30.
Go over and participate. We always like to encourage people to go participate because they're taking their time to be helpful, and sometimes some negative Nellies can go and they just go there to be jerks in the chat. And I like to try and show up and be positive.
Stomp on the trolls.
Well, and ask some real questions. It's like you have somebody there who wants to answer your questions. Like, go ahead and ask some real questions and don't just show up to be a jerk.
Heather has a question. This summer, you go to 150 plus yard sales, can't print out a list, you see a sign and go. I would guess the IRS will take it if you write the garage sales that you go to as in the format of a mileage log. That is something that's recordable, something that you take the time to do. They will accept that.
Yeah, yeah. Angie, yes, I do wake you up and then I leave. I am very, very rude, but that's the way I am. Okay? 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 Anyway, thanks you guys for coming and watching us. We will see you on Friday for No Pants Friday. I'm just going to keep not wearing any pants because I don't have to.
She's still wearing sweatpants. I bought her some new pants yesterday, though, so she was very excited.
Oh, yeah, I was very excited.
I went to Costco, got my new eyeballs. My eyesight got better. How weird is that? 43, my eyesight is better.
Now she won't quit talking about it, guys.
Exciting.
Will not quit talking about it.
Still contacts, but I can see better.
All right, so thanks for coming. We'll see you on Friday. Get some work done. Get whittling down those death piles, guys. I better hear you throwing some stuff away. That's all I can say about it. I think I'm going to eat some green Skittles. I'm going to eat some lime Skittles. Bye, y'all. Yip, yip.